Good day, class. So, welcome to our second lesson, which is all about database management systems. So, if you can recall, we have discussed data science, wherein we need to somehow create decisions based from structured data. And basically, where does this structured data come from? So, actually, dito siya usually nanggagaling sa database management system. So, with DBMS, we'll be discussing two components here. So, first is the hardware component, which is basically the database itself. And second is the database management system software. So, the application that we use to that we can use to utilize the database itself. So, in short guys, most likely yung mga ginagawa nating or ginagamit nating data in doing data analytics, most likely ito manggagaling sa tinatawag nating database as mentioned a while ago. Kasi dito natin makikita yung or dito ensured na yung data is with integrity and most likely secured rather than data not being secured and has no integrity, kasi mas mahirap yun, di ba? So ibig sabihin pwedeng ano siya, yung mismong data itself is already manipulated in such a way na may bias na. Yun yung iniiwasan natin when we do analytics, no? Yung may bias sa data. So with this setup, at least yung data kapag dito galing, alam nating mas secured yun. Okay? So let's go and proceed to the next slide. Okay. So first things first, what do we mean by database management systems, or in short, DBMS? So DBMS again is composed of two components. We have the software and we have the database. So we focus on the software. So when we talk about DBMS software, it enables the users, us, no, yung nasa company, to create, manage, secure, and interact with database. So meaning, si software yung ginagamit natin that can have an access to the database itself. Kasi si database is an hardware. Parang imagine niyo na ito ay isang hardware. Yung hardware na yun, yun yung database or yung storage. Now, in order for us, di ba, kapag kunwari gusto nating i-open yung file, no, from the storage, then we need to use a software. So, ito yung operating system na ginagamit natin so that we can open the files. So, parang yun yung DBMS software. So, again, with DBMS software, it acts what? As an intermediary or a mediator, no, between the data contained in the database and the application or users. So magtataka, sir, bakit ganun? So software na si DBMS, tapos, di ba intermediary siya or mediator between the data. So ano pa yung isa pang software? Yung application software. So yung application software, it's other than the DBMS software. So meaning, magko-connect si DBMS software at si application software. Sa application software kasi kailangan kapag nag-access ng data, dapat, in a way, secured siya. Kasi kapag walang secure data, again, pwede nga may bias sa data, mahirap yun. So, one way to have a secured data is through DBMS software. So that, kailangan ng data ni application software. So, magre-request siya from the DBMS software kung authorized mismo yung user doon sa application software na yun, na gagamit mismo ng data from the database, then the DBMS software will allow such request in such a way, kukunin niya yung data from the database and titingnan niya si DBMS software mismo kung ano yung info na ibibigay niya kay application user, kung authorized din ulit pa siya. So, ganun siya. So, later may papakita naman tayong diagram para mas ma-appreciate niyo yan. And with the DBMS software, it provides tools to organize, also as well store, no? Of course, nag-store tayo ng data, even retrieving, no? Kapag authorized yung tao mag-request ng such information regardless kung view or edit. Also to update and even delete data. Now, the least access na pwedeng mangyari sa tao if magkakaroon siya ng access sa mismong data from contained in the database is up until view lang. So, yung minimum na pwede niyang gawin. Ang tanong, allowed ba siya? Baka mamaya kasi may mga confidential information such as the payroll na hindi naman lahat syempre sa organization ay dapat magkaroon ng kahit view access. So, masama na may access doon is the payroll. Okay? While we have this capability in the DBMS to organize, store, retrieve, update ng data, it can be ensured na sinasabi natin may data integrity, security, and even concurrent or what we call simultaneous access for multiple users. So meaning may integrity na, meaning hindi siya basta-basta napapalitan, and kapag ganun, secure siya. At the same time, parang imagine niyo para siyang Excel file, yung database, no? So, nandun yung mga tables. So, yung mga tao, di ba, sa Google Sheets, pwedeng sabay-sabay na gumamit ng Excel sheet. So, that's what we call concurrent access. Ang hindi lang pwede, kunwari, may isang certain Excel na may in-edit yung isang tao, yun, automatic magla-lockout. Meaning, hindi siya pwedeng ma-access ng iba pang users. Unless, tapos na mag-edit yung unang user na may ginagawang edit doon sa cell na yun sa Google Sheets. So, hopefully, medyo naintindihan niyo siya. So, kasi we can relate it naman the DBMS sa mismong Microsoft Excel. Okay? Next slide. So, ngayon, tatanungin nyo, so what are the benefits of the DBMS? So first, so iba dito, medyo naulit kanina sa dating discussion of the definition of DBMS. No? So, una, it increases the quality and it ensures that the data is maintained in accordance to the business structure and its needs. So meaning yung data na install natin or ilalagay natin sa database using DBMS software, somehow it can be of use when we try to prepare the tables. Of course, yung tables, it represents one entity. So depende sa setup ng company or structure niya kung paano makikreate yung tables. Example, kung ikaw ay manufacturing setup, the normal table that you will normally see na nandun sa database would be customer, the product table, the order table, and it contains information or data that would relate to that entity. So yun yung sinasabi natin that the data can be maintained in accordance with the business structure and its needs. Example, para mas ma-appreciate natin sa school, no? Particularly sa FEU. So normally you would you would see tables that would pertain to student, meaning yung student na yun, it contains the information of the student. Example no, student number, student name, address, year, etc. Okay, ano pa, pwede pang there's a table for the courses that are being offered. Pwede rin namang for the degree being offered nung time na nag-a-apply kayo sa FEU. So those are the tables that are present in school. The same goes kunwari kung ikaw ay isang service type. So, nagpo-provide ka ng service. So, most likely, ang table na may kita mo, meron pa rin customer. Ang pinagkaiba lang, kunwari it's a law firm. So, law firm, usually, iba-iba yung services na ino-offer. May litigation, may remediation, may criminal, etc., tax service. So, yung mga yon, those are the different service offerings na pwede natin makita in a service table. Okay, so hopefully, naiintindihan natin yung number 1. Okay, number 2, as mentioned a while ago, that it allows yung database management software to have a concurrent or simultaneous access. It will also help in data sharing. So, with that, na-allow yung data sharing. Okay? So, sa data lang sharing, hindi sa tao. Okay? Okay, number 3, it also enhances the data consistency in the system given nga na kinokontrol ng database management software yung access ng mga tao. So, for example, yung mga tao, hanggang ganito lang yung access niya, hanggang doon lang. Kaya, for example nito, if you want our data to be consistent, naalala nyo, pa nag-fill out kayo ng form, may mga drop-down menu. So, sa pag-setup mo ng ganong field drop-down menu, for sure, pag mamimili yung tao, consistent yung magiging responses ng mga tao. Kasi, hindi mo na sila i-allow na mag-type ng kahit anong text doon sa field na yon. Okay, so usually sa database management system software, kung pwede maging consistent ng data, dapat gawin. Para at least kapag in data analytics, when we do analytics on those data, mas madali yung tinatawag nating pag-create ng visuals kasi consistent yung data. Okay? Number 4, it reduces program maintenance and data hacking. So basically guys, ang database management software, secure siya. Given na secure kasi nga hindi siya pwede basa-basa ma-edit, hindi nga rin basa siya pwedeng ma-view. So iiwasan natin yung data hacking lalo na internally. Na wala namang problem kunwari pag nasa labas yung hacker. Most likely ang company, lalo na kung malalaki, robust naman yung network nila. So most likely may mga firewall yan. So maraming levels of security yan before pa umabot sa mismong sa database yung mismong hacker. Kasi may software na ito, DBMS software. Okay? In terms of program maintenance, ibig lang natin sabihin dito, for sure, pag mine-maintain natin yung mismong data itself, madali siya kasi una, consistent siya. Also, we can relate para sa number 3, dito consistency kasi ganito yung scenario before. Lagi, 20 years ago, lagi magkaaway ang accounting and ang sales. So, bakit? Bakit lagi sila magkaaway? Kasi when we talk about revenue recognition, before kasi pag nagre-report ang sales or marketing, huwag sana magalit ang mga taga-marketing dyan, no? Laging, ang nire-report nila when they earn the customers without it delivering the product or service or when a deal is closed. So, usually ganun ang recognition ng revenue sa marketing. Pero kay accounting, iba ang pag-recognize ng revenue. Hindi siya upon closing of a deal, getting customers kahit wala pa talaga na de-deliver or na de-deliver na product or service. Si accounting, nagre-recognize lang yan kapag na-deliver na yung product or na-render na yung service. So, that's the time na siya ay nare-recognize na revenue. But now, with the DBMS, nawala yung tinatawag nating data inconsistency kasi instead of looking into two tables, meron si accounting, meron si sales for the revenue. Ngayon, isang table na lang. Kasi central repository na kasi ngayon ang tinitingnan nila ng data, which is database. So, kapag titingin si marketing, titingin si accounting, isang revenue table na lang yung tinitingnan nila. So, kapag nag-report sila, they are on the same page. So, that's also would relate when we talk about data consistency, and which we can relate to number 4, the program maintenance. Kasi again, yung pag-maintain ng mga data, since isa lang yung mag-update or mag-edit, usually authorized yan, isa lang yung mangyayaring change or any manipulation sa data, but not yung negative one, yung pag-edit lang yung sinasabi ko sa data, para at least kapag magkakaroon na access ng iba, yung view, iisa lang yung sasabihin nila. At least consistent yung data. At yung maintenance niya, less na siya as compared before. Okay, number 5, it supports several users at one time, including supporting applications and involves several databases. So, ito yung sinasabi ko, no? It allows concurrent or simultaneous access. So, pwedeng gumamit ang tao sabay-sabay. At pwede rin naman hindi tao sabay-sabay, no? Pwede rin yung mga different application softwares na naka-connect kay database software. Pwedeng sabay-sabay silang gumagamit ng mismong database through the use of the DBMS software. Okay. So, in a simple diagram that we have here, dito mas ma-explain yung kaninang minimension ko. Okay. In here, we have a diagram showing a database sa left portion. This is a shared database. Then we have here the users. So yung mga users, of course, hindi naman sila basta-basta makakaroon ng direct access shared database. For sure, yung mga users na to, like si accounting, si marketing, and si product service, they use an application software. So isang application software. So pwede natin sabihin ito ay si SAP. Ngayon, si SAP, meron siyang access dapat sa database. Pero hindi siya dapat direct. Meron dapat intermediary or tinatawag nating mediator. So, this is what we call the database management software. Ito yan. Okay? Which is an integration software. So, ang scenario dito, we have different users. So, si accounting, si marketing, and si product service, they view the same table, which is the customer sales. No, tingnan nyo, kay accounting, customer sales table. Kay marketing, customer sales table. Kay product service, customer sales table. Pero ang pinagkaiba, of course, depending sa purpose nila, kung ano yung purpose kung bakit nila kailangan magkaroon ng view for the table. For accounting, kaya niya tinitingnan ng customer sales is because gusto niya makita yung current accounts receivable, no? So pwedeng gusto niyang makita kung magkano yung due doon sa tao, baka di natin nasisingil or baka may mga long outstanding dues na. Okay? Now for marketing, iba naman yung purpose niya. Kaya niya tinitingnan yung customer sales table is because we have here the historic or demographic orientation. Gusto niyang malaman yung demographic profile of the customers. Most likely, kasi ang mga taga-marketing, they are the thinkers. No? Meaning, they need to promote really the products or service. Sa mga marketing dyan, di ba, if you can recall, we have here what we call the product life cycle, and it consists of 4 stages. So, we have birth, then peak, then meron siyang yung pag-maintain nilang ika-third, and yung fourth, yung die. Of course, as much as possible, gusto natin sana yung second, yung peak. Pero, of course, yung tao, kumbaga sa economics, may law of diminishing returns. Hindi talaga siya laging nasa taas. May time na talagang bababa yung demand, pero as much as possible, yung importante number 3, we need to maintain the demand. So ngayon, si marketing, as much as possible, nag-iisip yun ng mga ways on how to make the demand of the product still at that kind of level. Or kung hindi man, no, kunwari, ang company gusto ng mag-isip ng panibagong product. For example, ang company, for the longest time, they are offering their products to baby boomers. So ngayon, they want, of course, their company to earn more revenue. So they are thinking of promoting a product that could be suitable to the Gen Z. So yun. So si marketing gagamit ng demographic profile. So magpapasurvey siya from the survey. Tingnan niyo yung mga references of the Gen Z. Tapos doon sila somehow magkakaroon na ng idea on what product or service that can be promoted to this or that can be penetrated to these customers or types of customer. Okay, now, nandito tayo sa third, si product or si service. Si product or service department or division, sila naman yung parang in connection kay marketing, kung ano man yung pwedeng i-promote na product, sila yung pwedeng tumingin kung ano yung magiging product orientation. So, tingnan nyo, no, customer sales table din yung tinitingnan niya. Now, kapag i-design nila yung product or service, it will depend on the preferences of the customer. So, doon nila i-design yung product or yung service. Okay? So, same lang din yung table na titingnan nila. So, you see, different users have different purpose for viewing the same table. Okay? Now, tingnan natin itong integration software. Of course, kung kailangan ni users ng ganung table, hindi siya basta-basta again. Dapat didiretso kay database. Kasi again, as much as we want to make the data contained in the database, for example, the customer data, the sales invoice, the cash receipts, the product service, the schedule, and the other entity data secured, dapat gawin natin. And how this data can be secured. So, maglalagay dapat si company ng intermediary again and yung tinatawag nating mediator, which is what? The DBMS software or the Database Management System software. So, sa DBMS software, ina-allow niya na yung mga application software na to, for example, si SAP, na kapag nag-request siya ng data sa database, si DBMS, nandyan yung control. Titingnan niya kung yung mismong user rin have the authorization to have an access to that database. So, titingnan niya rin kung view lang ba talaga. What if edit? Yun, mas delikado yun. Kung edit, update, or delete, titingnan niya authorized ba yung tao. If authorized siya, then no problem. Si DBMS software, kukunin niya lang or i-retrieve niya lang yung data from the database at i-forward lang ni DBMS software yung mismong data doon sa application software para ma-edit ni user of the application software. So, hopefully, naintindihan nyo itong simple DBMS structure kasi dito natin somehow ma-appreciate si database and yun nga, yung the security of the data. Okay? So, for the next slide. So, now we go with the components of DBMS and we have 4 here. The data, hardware, software, and lastly, users. So, we first discussed data. So, for the data, this is actually the building block of the database. So, with the data, it can be collected either orally or in written. Okay, so ngayon lalo orally na pwede na talaga when we talk about unstructured data. And the database can be integrated and shared. So, usually guys, yung data, may way yan na dapat in-store into 2 databases. No? So, may times kasi na kapag yung isa ay nasiraan, no, pwede kasi yung isa kapag usually no, yung dalawang database na yun nagsisave both ng files yun, parang copy yung isa. So kung nasira yung isa, so yung isang copy pwedeng ma-access. So again, meron doong tinatawag na business continuity planning na tinatawag natin, making sure na kung yung isa is inoperative, yung isa pwede natin gamitin. Okay, so of course yung data, it can be shared, no, in accordance with the requirements of the users, no. So, dapat din yung data is in integrated form. When we talk about integration or integrated data, it should be in a unique form. When you talk about unique form, no, sa mga certain tables kasi, dapat talaga may isang unique key dyan or primary key. For example, in a student table, dapat ang unique key dyan is the student number. to make sure that there will be no redundancy, no? So kasi pag may redundancy later on, kunwari dalawa yung student number, hindi siya yung primary key mo, magkakaroon tayo ng problem doon, no? Yung system papasahin niya, bakit dalawa yung student number? So, dapat unique talaga yung mismong primary key na yun. That will make different instances in the table or row very unique. Okay? So, we have the second component which we call hardware. So, yung hardware, guys, so basically anything that we can touch and see. And this is a major and primary part of the database. Kasi kung walang database, so wala tayong, parang storage, wala talagang makukuha data or mas store na data, basically. So, parang yung hardware, kung naalala nyo sa computer class, so basically, storage siya, yun, no? At marami pa iba't ibang klaseng hardware. So, we have here, keyboard, mouse, scanner, monitor, storage device, yung mga yan, those are examples of hardware. Pero in the context of our discussion, ang hardware na sinasabi natin for database is the database itself. Okay? Na pwedeng nakastore sa storage or sa server. Okay? Then next, we have here what we call the software. Yung software naman is another part of the database system. Kumbaga sa isang coin, no, it has two sides. So they go side by side. Yung isa, hardware, isa software. Yung isa, we can touch and see. Yung isa, we cannot touch and see. So, punta tayo sa software again. No? When we talk about software, this can allow to use, or this mechanism will allow to run the hardware. No? So, without the software, hindi mararun talaga yung hardware. Yun lang yun. No? So, in this scenario, sa software, we have two categories. No? Yung unang category is what we call the system software. So, yung system software, we call it also operating system. So, ito yung yung mga Windows, yung iOS, no? Yung that will allow the CPU to power and to function. Okay? Yung another software is what we call application software. Yung application software naman, ito yung mga applications other than the operating system. So, pwede dito yung SAP, any software that can be used for whatever functions. Lalo na sa atin, processing of transactions, pwedeng processing of payroll, pwede rin namang an application for hospitality management, pwede naman for hotel. So, yun. Ginagamit natin siya for that purpose. Kumbaga guys, sa base natin, base muna ang operating system or ang system software ang operating system. Ngayon, magpo-function lang yung application software kung naandoon yung system software. So, in terms of hierarchy, mas importante si system software. Para mag-function si application software, dapat naandun muna si system software. Once na naandun siya, then that's the time na pwede pa lang natin install and gamitin si application software. So, hopefully, naintindihan natin ang software. So, ganun lang siyang kasimple. Now, for the last component, we call it users. So, yung users, hindi ito yung friend mo. Ito yung user na gumagamit ng mismong data, hardware, and software. So, kung walang user, no, bakit meaningless to magiging other components. So, kasi si user, siya yung reason bakit na-create itong mga components na to. With the user, they can collect data, operate, and handle the hardware. Then also the user or the operator in this instance can feed the data and arrange the data in order by executing the software. So hopefully naintindihan natin tong mga tong user and tong other components of DBMS. So it's just plain simple, no? Para at least familiar kayo kung sino yung mga tawag dito yung mga major components or players within the DBMS space. Okay? Now, for the advantages of the DBMS, so we have several, no? So, yung iba na ulit natin kanina, so let's emphasize yung mga hindi pa natin na-discuss. Yung number one, controlling redundancy. So, just like with what I've mentioned about redundancy, no, yung sa marketing and yung sa accounting, no, since iba yung table na mini-maintain nila, so yung isa pag nag-update like marketing, kaya accounting hindi siya nag-update kasi magkaibang data sila. So ibig sabihin they are not using DBMS. Ngayon nung may DBMS na isa na lang yung table or file na tinitingnan nila, yon kapag isa lang yung nag-update, enough na yon na isa, yung data wala nang tinatawag nating data redundancy, yung mismong table na yon. So somehow with DBMS it can help to control redundancy. So the next one, restricting unauthorized access. So that's a good thing with the DBMS software, no? It allows a mechanism to have an access control. Meaning, kung authorized siyang gawin yung view and edit, then the DBMS will allow that person, based from the access table, to have an access to the database. Kung hindi man, let's say for example, isang tao na hindi man authorized mag-edit, i-disallow na yung mismong action na yun. That will be done by the user in the database. So at least, may control over that. Okay? So the next we have here, providing persistent storage for program objectives and data structures. Yun, kagandahan kasi with the database, it uses programming language na maintindihan ng developer. So dito, ang example nito is a DBMS that is developed using object-oriented. So medyo technical to, no, pero ibig ko lang sabihin guys dito, no, madali siya in terms of doing some changes in the DBMS given na object-oriented siya. So pag sinabi natin object-oriented, naalala niyo yung nag-create ng website. So you use Microsoft Publish, no? So parang gano'n siya, you drag and drop the different kunwari banners, buttons. So ganun din kay database. So drag and drop siya kasi object-oriented siya. Meaning mas madali siyang i-program. Kasi kunwari when you drag and drop, matic si system, no, gagawa niya ng ano yan, ng parang program. So, no need to be a programmer in that case. Kasi itong object-oriented, somehow yun yung isa mga madaling program. Like, meron din tayong tinatawag na Visual Basic, which is also an object-oriented programming language. So, mas madali siyang gamitin. So, given that the DBMS software is using object-oriented, it can automatically perform conversions between programming data structure and file formats. So, that is what we mean by number 3. With number 4, it permits inference and actions using deduction rules. So, kagandahan with database, para siyang machine learning, it can learn, no? As long as program siya sa ganung way na yun, no? So, it uses deductive reasoning, no? Meaning sa database itself, it can use deductions so that it can be used to infer new information from the data itself, from those database facts. So, may ganung capability si database. But for the complete, or if you want to create visuals, no, of course, si data analytics yun. Okay? So, next is number 5, inconsistency can be reduced. So, kasi, naalala yung sinabi ko na may drop-down menu. So, with the drop-down menu, somehow, consistency can be achieved, no? So, at least yung data na i-entry natin, consistent siya. Wala magiging problema kapag binasa to, lalo na ng data analytics na application. So, again, this is another form of delicacy. So, yung nakalagay sa handout, sabi dito, it's supposed that an employee Janet work in a department computer is represented by two distinct entries in a database. So, in this way, inconsistent data is stored and DBA can remove this inconsistent data by using the DBMS. Okay, example din ito, kunwari sa forms na finiloton nyo, di ba, may fill out akong country or region. Yung region na lang, no? Iba sa inyo, tinype na NCR, pwedeng National Capital Region. With the database management system, kung may ganitong mechanism siya, at least kung mamimili lang siya ng mga info, drop down lang. So, that yung entries, kapag nag-entry yung mga people who lives or resides within the same region, pare-parehas lang yung entry na region 4. So, lahat doon region 4 ang nakalagay. Hindi yung iba-iba. Okay? So, that is number 5. So, number 6, data can be shared. So, that's a good thing with database. As mentioned, it allows concurrent or simultaneous use. Like yung sa Google Sheet, no? So, ibig sabihin, mga different users can have a simultaneous access to the data. For example, sa iba't ibang mga needs nila. Yung iba baka view lang, yung iba baka need lang, or edit lang. Okay? So, yun, nasabi naman natin siya kanina. Number 7, sabi dito, the standard can be enforced or maintained. So, ito may kinalaman sa number 5, yung inconsistency can be reduced. So, in here, by using database system, standard can be maintained in an organization. So, again, in here, with the use or with the help of the database administrator, they control the database system, no? And in here, database is manually computed, but when DBA or the database administrator uses a DBMS and enter the data in computer, then standard can be enforced or maintained by using a computerized system. So, ang example na lang natin kanina, ulitin ko na lang, yung drop-down menu. So, yun, at least consistent yung magiging response rather than having a field na naka-blank lang. So, meaning you allow that person to enter any character in that field. So, yun, may standard. Example din ito, most probably, if we want to have, a field na ganun yung data type, edi we need to set a rule. Example, if we are asking the age of the person, no, filling out the form, then dapat ang i-allow nyo lang is what? Number. So, numerical character. Hindi siya dapat mag-allow ng text, hindi siya mag-allow ng date type. So, yung mga ganun, no, may mga rules din tayo in terms of that pagdating sa pag-fill out ng data. So, dapat standardize siya. Okay? Then, for the second page of the advantages, we have 8 here. Security can be maintained. So, yun nga yung sinasabi natin, security, ma-allow natin siya kasi nga, only authorized person can have an access to. And one way to have also security is through putting passwords, okay, which can be done naman by the database administrator. Okay? Now, also, sabi natin dito with number 9, integrity can be maintained. So, ito may kinalaman na to sa security. May kinalaman na to sa pag-reduce natin ng redundancy and inconsistency. So, given kung ganito nga ang premise ni DBMS, then integrity can be maintained. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, the data contained in the database is both accurate and consistent. Okay? So, magiging useful siya. Lalo na if we have to use that data for our analytics. Kasi nga, may integrity na yung data. Wala nang bias. Okay? Number 10, conflicts can be removed. So, para na rin siyang may kinalaman sa 89. In this way, no, yung conflicts can be removed. Ibig sabihin lang yan, data can be written or arranged in a well-defined manner by the database administrator in a database system. So with this kind of setup, there will be no conflicts. And given na ganun yung mangyari, the administrator can also select the best file structure and accessing strategy to get the better performance for the representation and use of data. So ito, may kinalaman din sa mga nauna, no? Yung mga data integrity review as well. So, number 11, it provides multiple user interfaces. So, kanina, na-mention natin na multiple user can have a simultaneous access. Dito naman, pwede rin naman na yung software can have a multiple interface to the DBMS software. Okay? So, number 12, representing complex relationship among data. So, with the DBMS, later i-discuss natin yung entity relationship diagram or ERD. So, dapat with the tables, meron talagang relationship. So, guys, dapat sa mga bagay-bagay may label. In this case, data. So, yung data na na-contain sa table, dapat merong i-label tayong relationship para mag-make sense. Okay? So, later i-discuss ko kung bakit. Okay, number 13, providing backup and recovery. So, that's a good thing with the DBMS. Dapat may ganito siya mechanism na kunwari ang mismong company premises ng company ay nasa ring of fire. So, lagi lumilin to. What if, ako doon, wag naman mangyari. Nangyari yung the big one. So, di ba, in the big one, nakakatakot yun. As in, pwedeng nububog tayo sa building. So, kung mangyari yun, kung nakasave doon ng file, at least kung merong backup file, no, na nakasave off-site, no, na safe siya. Example, Palawan. Palawan is a safe location kasi hindi siya masyadong lapitin talaga ng earthquake. Napakadalang lang ng earthquake doon. So, kung may mangyari doon sa ibang place sa Pilipinas, nag-earthquake at lumubog yung database together with the server, at least yung mismong backup copy of that database is naka-preserve siya sa another location at madali na yung magiging recreation of the database or yung tinatawag nating recovery. At we can, continue business as usual. Parang wala lang nangyari doon sa the big one, no? Pero yun nga, yung it allows here backup and recovery. That's a good thing with the DBMS. Okay? So, we now go with the different database management system actor. So, iba na banggit ko na yung DBA, which stands for the database administrator. And each role here has a crucial role that they need to perform, or the responsibility they need to perform in relation to database management system. Okay? So we have first the database administrator or yung DBA, no? So sino tong taon to? So they are the ones who is responsible for the basically installing the database in the database software. They are the ones who are also going to configure, meaning yung pag-set up, yung ano ba yung mga need na structure, no? Ano ba yung need? Ano yung structure based sa needs, yung pa ibig sabihin. Then of course if they want to have an update, then they can upgrade the database and the software itself. And basically sila talaga yung administration, so kaya nga administrator. So included sa administrator role niya is making sure na sino ba yung may mga access dito sa database. So isa yon, at yung isa rin doon is yung pagbibigay din ng access sa mga tao. Okay? So also included sa role niya is yung monitoring and even the maintenance of the database in the organization. So also ito i-expound na lang sa handout, the role also include the development and design of the database strategies, even monitoring and improving the database performance and capacity. Kasi of course, habang tumatagal, lumalaki ang business, maaaring nagiging largely dependent ang company sa paggamit ng technology. So yung database, mas dumadami yung need. No? Ibig sabihin, dumadami yung data, so dapat nag-expand yung capacity rin as well. And if ever, kung sila ay proactive, then they can plan for any future expansion that would be required because may gantong strategy in the coming year. So most likely, pag ganun, nagiging mas prepared sila ahead of time. At before pa mangyari yun, naka-apply na yung mismo needed na update doon sa database itself. Okay? They also can plan, coordinate, and implement even security measures to safeguard the database. Kasi again, the database is should be secured. So actually, if merong security administrator yung company, the DBA and the security administrator can work hand in hand to making sure na secure talaga yung database, no? Meaning aside from having an access control, meaning yung dapat sino yung users yung may gantong view or edit access, dapat din yung database itself may security in terms of hacker. So may mga firewall na dapat naka-install. So yun, may ganong aspect din yun. Ano? Yung iba na mention ko naman kanina. So we also have here the systems analyst. So si systems analyst naman, para siyang isipin nyo siya yung kumbaga sa pag-build ng structure like buildings or houses. They are the ones who are creating the blueprint, no? Dito sa essence ng database and even the systems ng company, yung nagde-design ng system, it's the systems analyst. So also they work hand in hand with the DBA. So with the systems analyst, once na may gantong ang need, so kailangan mag-create ng design or structure, ang gagawin ni systems analyst is to research it, yung mismong problem na yon. Then they can also plan the solution, and once they have planned the solution, they can recommend the software and the system. At kung ano man yung maging decision ng mga tao or ng management sa taas, kung ano yung software na gagamitin, then that's the time na systems analyst would coordinate with the development of such need. Meaning, dito napapasok yung ating pangatlong DBMS actor, which is or who is the DBMS developer. So si systems analyst yung nagde-design, yung taong nag-create ng software is the developers or the DBMS developers. So they design and build the DBMS products, and they are the ones who are authorized to perform yung coding of the software. Okay? So hindi na si system analyst yung dapat mag-perform ng programming language, kundi si developer na. Okay? Now, we also have here the application ends user. So, sino ba yung gagamit ng DBMS? So, eto yon, sila yon. Usually, sino gagamit? Accountants, insurance people, medical doctors, etc. So, they are the one who know the application, and of course, yun nga lang yung pag-create mismo ng software itself, wala silang alam. Kasi may alam niyan, of course, it's the systems analyst, si developers na nag-create ng code, and even the DBA. But eventually, again, si application end user or yung tinatawag natin front end users, sila yung gagamit ng application. Pero yung back end ng database, yung naunang tatlo, sila yon. Okay? And yun, ang beneficiary basically ng DBMS is eto, si end user. Kasi sila yung dapat gumamit ng data. Okay? So next slide. So, we have here the central database system. So, ngayon guys, uso naman na talaga ang database system is central siya. And usually, to make sure that the database is really performing, no? In terms of, kunwari, maraming mga departments na kailangan mag-connect. So, may tinatawag tayong central database system. So, dapat may server that would cater to the allowance of, or that will allow database to be used across all these departments or divisions. So when I talk about server-based database systems, they are designed to run on a central server so that multiple users can access the same data simultaneously. So ito yung sabi ko kanina, no, that users can simultaneously or can concurrently use the data both at the same time. So how will it be allowed? Through this server structured na database. Okay? So, yun lang yung gusto kong sabihin dito. Okay? Now, so we have server. Of course, with the server, that is also a hardware. To make sure na gagana yung database and the server, dapat may software tayong ilagay. Okay? With the database management software, it can help in keeping the data guarded and safe. And this tool, no, or this software can help in the data redundancy and maintaining the efficiency and throughput of the data. So, yung iba namang mga DBMS software, they are open source, some are commercial, no, meaning talagang bibilhin mo. So, it of course with the database na software na gagamitin mo, it will be dependent based on the usage and the work requirement kung ano yung pipiliin natin sa mga to. Okay? So, we have here 3 common DBMS software. So, the first one is the Oracle RDBMS. No? We call it yung RDBMS, yung R, relational. Okay? So, this is a database that is mostly used by object relational database management software. Ang latest version it is 12C, where C means cloud computing. Kasi cloud-based na talaga ngayon eh. So, even the software itself, pwede rin cloud-based. So, we also have another one, IBM DB2. The latest release is 11.1, which is developed since 1983 pa, no? So in here the language used is assembly language, C for writing it. It supports multiple operating systems such as Windows, Unix, and even Linux versions. So another famous, no, na DBMS software aside from Oracle DBMS is the Microsoft SQL Server. So it is developed in 1989. The latest version of it came in 2016. The language used is, the common for this is assembly, C, Linux, C++ for writing it. And it can work on Linux and Windows operating system. So, ganun siya. So guys, sa discussion ko ng Power BI, no, madali siyang integrate yung Power BI kay Microsoft SQL Server kasi si Power BI is also a Microsoft application. So mas madali yung integration. But don't worry, no, of course with the Power BI flexible siya. So kahit ano pang database yung kanya magiging source of data, gagamitin niya. Mas madali lang, or mas madali lang kapag kapwa Microsoft ang application na gagamitin. So these are the common DBMS software. So now we go with the first type of database management system. So actually, apat, no? So we have yung una, hierarchical database management system. Medyo na siya, luma na or phase out. Second is the relational DBMS. So relational, in-out power na yung disadvantage ni hierarchical. Kasi si hierarchical merong disadvantage eh. It allows data redundancy. With the relational DBMS, nawala siya. Now, there's another one is what we call distributed database management system. So, meaning shared siya or distributed siya very well. Then, we have also object-oriented database management system. So, yun yung apat na categories ng DBMS. So, we focus on relational DBMS kasi ito yung may kinalaman sa data analytics. Kasi in data analytics, we'll be creating data modeling. And ang kailangan na principle na alam nyo sa data modeling is that you should know the relationship, which is ito siya, relational DBMS. Okay? So, in here guys, when you talk about relational database management system, it is a database that stores data in a structured format. Structured format kasi in a table format siya. Naka-format yung data na, kumbaga nakalatag yung data in a more structured way, which is table. When we talk about structure, may rows and columns. Basically, table. So this makes it easy to locate and access specific values within the database. It is relational because the values within each table are related to each other. For example, na may dalawa tayong table, for sure may relationship yan. So that's the thing with the relational database management system. Yung database management itself, before talaga ma-finalize yung content niyan, dapat may establish yung relationship. Dapat may relate or nakarelate yung dalawang table. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, pag may relationship in dalawang table, most likely they have a value or data that are the same, making it related to each other. And tables may be, again, related to other tables. So, the relational structure makes it possible to run queries across multiple tables all at once. So, within the Microsoft SQL Server, you can do some query or parang in short, parang hindi naman manipulation, pero more on you can generate information based from the relationship among the data na meron sa mga tables. So, yung importante, ma-establish yung relationship among the tables. So, we have here an example for a table. Ito, we can assume this is a customer table wherein we have here the different columns. Yung different columns, we call it attribute. That's the attribute of the table or the attribute of the customer table. Pag sinabi natin kasi attribute, these are the characteristics, no, that would pertain to that to that entity. Kasi yung sinasabi nating entity per table yon. So yung entity customer, isang table yon. Yung isang entity na product, isang table yon. Okay? So yung attribute na sinasabi natin, these are the characteristics that is referring to that entity. In this case, the customer. So ano ba yung mga attributes ng customer table? We have the customer ID, the customer name, the order date, the delivery date, and the quantity. Okay? So dito kung mapapansin nyo, ayan, yung customer name, order date, delivery date, and quantity are the attributes. And yung mga nasa, these are the instances or the data for each customer. Okay? So, yun. Yung C001, this pertain to customer CTI computers na possibly may order siya nito at na-deliver yung product nito ng ganitong date at ilan yun. Okay, so ito yung table na pwede rin natin sabihin na customer and order table, parang ganon. Okay? Okay, class, for this next slide, so we have here a sample structure of relational database management system. So we have here 3 tables in these slides. So we have here first, the customer table. So before I discuss, it is important to name a relation based on what values it holds. So meaning, yung relation, this is actually being represented as table in the database. Ito, kita nyo itong first table. This is actually a relation. Now, to represent it in the database, we call it table. So ito yun, table yan. Okay? So, this table is named as customer table, which contains the information of the customer. So, in this table, the primary key of this table is what? Yung naka-underline, customer ID. Okay? So, sa item table, mapapansin nyo, meron ding naka-underline na attribute yung item ID, meaning, eto rin yung primary key. So, ano ibig sabihin natin ng primary key? When we talk about primary key, we also call it major key. It is a field that or a key field that serves as the unique identifier of a specific tuple in a relation. Okay, yung tuple naman, so yung tuple kasi isang instance siya. So yung tuple actually nasa baba siya ng attribute. So yung C001, C002, tapos yung mga relevant info na yan, we call it tuples. Okay? So, yung customer C001, that is a primary key or a unique identifier for this tuple na to, yung isang row na yan. We call this row also as record. Okay? So, generally speaking, yung primary key is a field which occupies the first column usually in a table. Okay? So, yun yung primary key. Now, pansin nyo, dito sa summary table, no, screenshot lang kasi to for sure, may primary key yan, pero hindi na lang na-capture. Pansin nyo, may customer ID rin at item ID. Diba, ito yung primary key respectively coming from the customer table at sa item table. Nandyan yan kasi it serve as a reference to this table. May purpose yan. And usually, nilalagay yan dyan kasi for sure, may relationship yan. So, itong mga primary key na to, na foreign dito sa table na to, we call it what? Foreign key. So, this is the main reason why yung mga primary key from other tables nilalagay as a foreign key in the table to establish relationship. Yun yung purpose niya. Okay? So, going back again, no, we have here another term na banggit ko na kanina, tuple, no. Yung tuple naman, it corresponds to a row of a table or an attribute or a field to a column. For example, yung second row dito sa customer table, again, this is your tuple. Okay? So kung it's a group of tuple, we call it tuples, no. So now we have again the tuples, itong C001 hanggang C006, and we have the attribute customer ID hanggang quantity. When we combine this, again, we call it relation or table. Hopefully, nagkakaintindi tayo sa mga terms na meron tayo sa database. No? So, commonly, yun yung marinig nyo kapag pinag-uusapan natin ay database. Okay? So now, since we have mentioned about putting relationship between or among tables, importante kasi yon, lalo na may purpose yun, no? Kunwari, gusto mong mag-manipulate, no? Gusto mong makita yung mga customers, ano yung mga naging order nila. So, dalawang table yung pagkasamahin mo, no? Customer table at order table. So, to do that, we need to put some labels or what we call the relationship. Okay? So, when we talk about, this ERD comes in, no? Yung pag-put ng label or relationship doon sa dalawang tables, no? So, when we talk about entity relationship diagram, this is based on the notion of real-world entities and relationships among them. While formulating real-world scenario into the database model, the ER model creates entity set, relationship set, and general attributes and constraints. So, the following are the building blocks of this model. So, una, nabanggit ko na ito na yung entity. When we talk about entity, it is a real-world entity about the data which are to be collected and stored. It represents a particular kind of object that may be either a physical or just basically a conceptual object. So, ang example nito, kunwari yung sinabi natin, di ba, in a manufacturing setup, in-expect mong may customer table. That is an entity, yung customer itself. Yung product table, yung product, it's an entity. So, meaning bawat entity ginagawa natin ng relation or ng table. Okay? For sure, meron din yung vendor table. Okay? So, yung mga ganun. Now, yung attribute, may nabanggit na tayo, no? When we talk about attribute, it is a characteristic of an entity. In other words, it describes an entity. For example, yung customer table. Yung customer table, dapat may customer name, customer ID, customer address, customer contact info, customer credit. Yung mga information na yun, or characteristic na yun, we call it an attribute. And all of this attribute, in a table, it represents a column in such table. Okay? Then we have another building block of the ERD which we call relationship. And when we talk about relationship, it describes the association among the entities or the table. No? For example, yung pinakita natin kanina, yung customer at order. Most likely, may relationship yung dalawa in a table. So, pwede kasing yung each order may katumba siyang customer. So, doon na describe yung customer. Pwede natin sabihin that a customer can place an order. So, that is one-to-one. No? Yung may ganong kind of relationship. Later, babanggitin ko yun kung ano yung mga different types of relationship. So, dapat yung mga tables, as much as possible, may relationship na pwedeng i-establish. No? Okay. Now we go to the one-to-one relationship type, the first type, no. So in here, it is when only one instance of an entity is associated with the relationship. So meaning bawat entity, isa lang yung pwede nating relate, no? This mark as 1:1 or 1:1. So yung image na nakikita nyo ngayon sa inyong slide, it is a reflection that only one instance of each entity should be associated with the relationship. Again, it depicts one-to-one type of relationship. So pwede natin siyang i-apply sa scenario natin sa school, yung one-to-one. For example, no, yung student at yung student ID card. So meaning each student has one student ID card or student ID number, and each ID number or ID card belongs to exactly one student. So pag pagbaliktad natin yung kwento, dapat same lang ng essence. So that is 1:1. So for example, no, 20, 22, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yung ano, 'di ba? Yung example na student number sa FEU belongs to Juan de la Cruz. Okay, baliktarin natin. Juan de la Cruz own his own unique student ID number 2022 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that is 1:1. Okay? Now we go to one-to-many relationship type. So in here, this type of relationship exists when more than one instance of an entity is associated with a relationship. It is marked as 1:1 or 1:many. So the image that you're seeing in your slide depicts that only one instance of an entity on the left and more than one instance of an entity on the right can be associated with a relationship. Again, it depicts one-to-many type of relationship. Example nito, no, one teacher or instructor teaches multiple class sections, but each class section is handled by only one teacher or instructor. For example, no, Mr. Ricafrente teaches Band 1202 sections 1 to 10. Okay? So, pwede rin baliktarin natin. Band 1202 sections 1 to 10 are being handled by Mr. Ricafrente. So, that is one-to-many relationship type. Okay? For the next type of relationship, we call it many-to-one relationship type. When more than one instance of an entity is associated with the relationship, it is marked as n is to 1. Sorry. The image that you're seeing reflects more than one instance of an entity on the left, and only one instance of an entity on the right can be associated with the relationship. Again, it depicts many-to-one relationship. Pwede nating basahin na ganito, no, yung many-to-one. Many students are enrolled in one degree. Okay? But, pag minilita natin, but each student belongs to only one program. So, that's the essence of it, no? Na many students are enrolled in one program or degree. Meaning, many to one. Okay? Now, we go to the last type of relationship. Many-to-many relationship. So the image that you're seeing is that it reflects that more than one instance of an entity on the left and more than one instance of an entity on the right can be associated with the relationship. It depicts many-to-many relationship. Example, all of you here, students, are enrolled in multiple courses, and each course has multiple students enrolled. Naintindihan? So, ibig sabihin, pwedeng ganito siya, no? A takes Band 1202 and Band 1203. And at the same time, Band 1202 is taken by A, B, and C. Okay, so talagang many-to-many yung type of relationship na meron tayo. So guys, yung kaninang mga types of relationship na pinakita ko, dapat familiar kayo. Para kasi ang mangyayari niyan, in data modeling, magko-connect kasi tayo ng mga data. And in connecting the data through the tables, we need to know the ER diagram. So, the type of relationship that we have. So, here's an example of a slide using an entity relationship diagram for a day-to-day process of an entities like the warehouse, products, customers, and vendors. So, let's drill down, no? So, dito sabi dito, warehouse is one, and N is many products. So, pagbabasahin natin ito, warehouse can contain a lot of products. Okay, ganun siya, no? So, tingnan na naman natin ito sa aspect when we have a relationship between the entity's product and customers. So, ibig sabihin nito, sa product, N siya, meaning many, tapos sa customer, 1 siya. So, this is many to 1. Ibig sabihin nito that the products are being ordered by a customer. Or the other way around, pwede naman a customer can place a lot of products. So that is 1 is to many naman. Okay? Kanina yung many is to 1. A product can be ordered by, or products can be ordered by 1 customer. Okay? Now, we have here many to many relationship. Ito, N yung product, and N din yung okay, pwede rin imagine niyo rito na N din yung customer kasi sa ERD diagram to walang N is to N or yung many to many. Example, N to N. Customers can place different products. So that is many is a many to many na type of relationship. Okay? So, parang in-extend lang natin yung discussion no pagdating sa many to many. Okay? We go back to another part ng relationship which is many is to 1. So, example nito, yung product na N, yung product is N, yung vendor is 1. So, meaning, yung mga products can come from a single vendor. Okay? Or one vendor can sell multiple products to our entity kung supplier or vendor to. Okay? So, hopefully, naintindihan natin itong application of the relationship in this scenario. Okay? Particularly yung pagkuha natin or pagkuha natin ng raw materials or goods at ibebenta natin kay customer. Hanggang sa pagbenta natin kay customer. At meron pang in between. Kapag piniplace natin yung mga nabili nating product from the supplier going to the supplier before it can be placed or it can be ordered by the customer. Okay? So, hopefully, naintindihan natin itong sample ERD. And with that, hopefully guys, naintindihan yung discussion natin ng database management system. So, yung pagkakalatag natin ng database management system ng discussion, talagang inano ko siya, tiniler fit ko siya that would be relevant only to data analytics. To tell you honestly, database management system is actually, dati nung time namin, pang 1 subject talaga to na course, no? So, talaga dinidiscuss namin ito ng whole sem. Pero this time, kinat lang natin kung ano lang yung relevant sa data analytics. Specifically guys, no, mas importante dito yung mag-stick sa inyo yung ERD kasi yun yung dapat nating i-relate kay data analytics, particularly sa data modeling. Okay? So, okay tayo? So guys, thank you for listening to this video and have a good day.